With the eye here, we'll go and choose a new color for the background of the eye. So I'm going to get a lighter color. I'll copy that. And with the eye here, I'll choose fill, paste that value in. And then with the eye, I want to, on the left eye, we will do a oval eye with this. So I will choose an ellipse. And now I have to figure out where to put that. Well, if we know that the center of the circle or of the head is at 400, I want to go over a ways. So if we went over to say 3 1/4 for the X position, so horizontally, and then vertically we will want to go up to, we'll just try 200 to start it out, and let's see how that works out. And I want the eye to be taller than it is wide, so I am going to say a width of 40, and we'll do a height of 60. Now the nice thing when we're doing this is we can try things. Your computer's not going to explode, your program's not going to fail if you just try numbers and see what happens. So don't be afraid to experiment while you are writing your code. So now when I run it, we'll see that it put it over there, and that's, I think, a little further over than I want it to be. So instead of that, let's go and change this number to 350 so we can see that's where it was. Now let's run it again. That's better. I'm happier with that. And now I'll draw my right eye. And with the right eye, we can, well, I don't really need to do the fill here yet because it's going to be the same color. But for the right eye, I want to, with this one, do a rectangle. And for the rectangle, so if we notice that this eye, it's 50 left of center, and that's where the center of that object is. So if I go and make a rectangle of a similar size, because the rectangle draws from the corner, so instead of saying 450 for the dimension that I would go over, I need to then come back half of the width of the object, so that'd be 20. So I would do 430 for it, and then at the 200, that's the midpoint, so we need to go up from that. So let's try 170, and then let's just do, so it's a rectangle version of the same thing, and let's see how it looks. So we can see they're now both kind of in the same relationship, but one is an ellipse, one is a rectangle. But it would be nice if the eye had a pupil with it or something to indicate it. So I'm going to reverse these. So the left eye, which is a oval eye, I will give it a square pupil and iris area. So I'll just do a center dot. I'm going to keep it simple so I'm not going totally crazy where I do a colored iris, then I do a black pupil or anything. But you're welcome to do whatever you want when you create your own smiley face. So with this, then I will choose rect for it. And now with this rectangle, we have to do a little bit more of this mental math of figuring out where to put this. So we know that the center of the eye is at 350. And if I want to make, let's say, a 20 by 20 rectangle that we will put into the eye. So if the center is at 350, but then we need to know that the left edge is actually at 430 because it's half of 40. So we take 20 because half of 40 is 20. So we take 20 away from this. That's 430. That's the edge. And now if I want to make this over, so then because we know from well, actually we don't care about the 20. We just care about the center is at 350. And then we want to have our object not centered at that, because if I said 350, we'll just draw it right now and we'll see how that looks. We'll just use those values and we'll see what happens with the rectangle. And sometimes it's easier just to do this and then to flip the math with it. So it's vertical, so we'll do that. And we can see how now it drew it here, and it also drew it in the same teal color. So that tells me that perhaps I will want to choose a new fill color for it. And with that kind of blue-green, so now we'll choose kind of a red-orange, more on the red side for the color. Copy that. Now I could type in, instead of copying that, 255, 87, and 3, just to show you that we can. 255, 87, and 3 using RGB as our color values. Now if I run it, let's see what we get. And we can see that the next eye follows in that same color. So now that we have it there, and I have drawn, I might as well, we'll put in a comment. Something else that I can do is, after I've drawn the face, now I can add an extra returns just to make it easier to see. So again, white space makes your code more human readable, and I'm going to very strongly encourage you to make sure that you are putting comments and enough white space to make your code readable. So if I want it to be centered in the eye, it's 20 wide, so we need to come back 10. So now if we run it, we'll see that it's centered in the eye. I like it a little bit lower, not horizontally and vertically centered. But now for the right eye, if the eyes are going to be the same color, I'm just going to copy that fill designation, paste it in here. Now I have my right pupil, and with the right pupil, if I want to keep the pupil the same color that I did there, I can go and copy that value, and then this time I will use, I'm just going to do a circle, and then the center of the circle will be at 450, because remembering we drew a rectangle here, so keeping it spaced, there's 350 off, so it's 50 left of the center of the face, so this will be 50 right of the center of the face, and the face itself is at 400, so that's how I was able to know 450 would be my value for the circle. And then the eye is being drawn at 170, or I guess it's the same as the other one, is 200 down, because it's 170 plus 30, the height of it. This will now center it within the eye. And then I can just make this a 20 pixel size element. So when I look, we can see now how we've provided these. So I'm bouncing numbers around here to try and help you to understand, remembering that everything is measured from the top left corner, which is 0. Bottom right corner, this would be 800 horizontally and 600 vertically. So now we've drawn two eyes. To complete our smiley face, I want to draw a nose, and then I will draw the mouth. I kind of preloaded those in there so that they're ready to go, so that I can then work with it. So now to draw the nose in here, I'm going to try something different. And what I'm going to do that we haven't looked at before, under primitives, I'm going to choose triangle. Now if I look at triangle, I will see there's 6 numbers here, and those correspond to an XY coordinate for each point in that triangle. So x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. So it's the 3 vertices or corners of the triangle. That's what I am going to be working with here. So with the triangle, I will just say, so triangle, and now we'll see it tells me it's expecting 6 float values. So I'm going to start out and try my first one at 400 and 300. That's the center, so the point of it will be at the very center of the face, and then we'll go down from there. So now I'm going to go over 15. So we're going to make our triangle will be kind of 30, a total of 30 pixels wide. So the next point, we go over 15 pixels. So remember, this is half the triangle. And then I'm going to go down, we'll make it 40 pixels tall. And then I need to now cross back, so take 15 away from 400. So now we're at 385. And then we'll still be on that same horizontal line as the previous point of 340. So now if we run this, let's see what we get. We can see, whoop. Oh, that's right. I forgot I didn't, in this time I didn't actually draw the face at 300. I was thinking I'd drawn the face in the center, but so my X values, I'm happy with those as it's centered and that goes over, but I do need to pull all my Y values up. And because I drew the circle 50 down, I just need to take 50, not 2500, take 50 away from each of those values, and then we should be back in the game. Now you'll notice I didn't put any spaces in here while I was typing. That was just because I was being quick and lazy with it. And now this time now I have the nose. Now if I want the nose higher on the face so it's not starting at the middle, I could again pull those values up more if I so desired. I also want to change the color because I don't want the nose to be the same color as the pupils. To change my nose value, we'll go and grab something that is similar to the face, but we'll just let it be a little bit greener. And I could use my RGB values that I have there. So I can just type it in, 147, 234, and 97. So now let's run it and see, and okay, now that's better. It's closer to the color of the thing. And if I haven't done it recently, I might want to just do a Command S or Control S for a quick save as we're working.